Just find the right place in the program, make the appropriate change, and we'll run the whole thing again.
Speech is still very complicated. Music is simpler.
Is that a question?
Yes.
The question is futile.
My interpretation of the data leaves little room for error. The art of leadership is delegation. That information is not available. This constitutes all available data.
You know what they say. No good deed goes unpunished.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night. Anyway, I've been working on this again, and then I realised I'm not streaming it, so I thought I'd better stream it as anyway. So here we go. Let's just get on with it. So, gone and on the last stream, made this bigger, fill up the full space. I've now made the background dark like the FT-710. I've sorted out the problem with this, and I've recalibrated the meter and change the colours. Got to take the signal off at some point and put other ranges in there. I've gone and done some labels similar to the FT-710. So I've got to do VFO A and B, so when we click that button it swaps them around, so I've got to sort that out. And that will have to be a rig state, because there's all sorts of modes and things got to be changed with it. And I need to change the colours of this now and carry on implementing stuff. And I've got a nice shocker for everyone. Well, it's not much of a shocker, but it keeps me excited about it. Let me just check we got some audio. I've got the fan on, I can't help it. It's too hot in here with all this going on. The radios and the monitors and the power supplies. Let me just see if I got some audio. It's not being too affected by the blowing air. A nice shocker for everyone. Well, it's not much. Oh, luckily it's not blowing onto the microphone, so we're alright. So what we're going to do, I'm going to make a simulated waterfall by signal strength. And what I'm going to do is something clever. I'm going to, while you listen to a frequency, because we can see the signal strength if it drops for a second, I'm going to try to get it to go off, or maybe we'll just do a scan like we do on the original 891. Press the scope and it does a sweep. So basically, let me get this radio up. Let's get the software over here. So I've been busy doing all this today. So if I fire this up, I had to get it to a stage where some progress has gone on with it, but there's still loads of work to do. Couldn't quite get the right font, so I'm trying to make this look like a FT-710 somewhat, even though it's a smaller screen. And anyway, so I've got so many ideas. See we've got the wattage here. Well, this background colour of the wattage, because you don't have a wattage on the 710, it doesn't show you on the display. It just, if you select RF power, it shows you over here the label of what the function's set to. This function here. Okay, so, and I've got to take that out of the main function display, so you just do that. And obviously if you can move it around or click here, and you can scroll the wattage up and down like that. So let's leave it there and go back. So we got 95 watts. What I want to do is I want this to turn from green down at 5 watts to go to red when you're on 100 watts. Reason being, so you can see straight away, if you're not trying to do a test, you don't want to be putting out 200 watts. You don't want to be putting out 100 watts. So it'll tell you red, it'll show red. So as you go up and down, it'll change from green and transition, you know, orange, yellow, whatever, orange, red. So anyway, that's just a little bit of UI thing got to go on. Now we've got the USB, had a problem with that, with AM again. It wasn't feeding back the correct info. I got that working. Now there is a glitch with the firmware or changing mode. There's more to this cat control. You have to sometimes issue it with a different command to update stuff when you go from USB, LSB and USB. It's a weird one. Anyway, so what I was doing is just carry on with this. So I've got to sort the VFO out, so go to A and B. It's got to tell you what the B one is. Should be fairly easy now. We've got a rig control, sorry, a rig state class. So just create a new class, a class for A and B, and then we can fill it with whatever parameters are on the radio at the time. So you can go through, you know, all the normal stuff. You can go through, basically you can just switch stuff on and off as you want, and click VFOB, it'll swap them, and then it'll bring the other one in what you had last time in. So there's that. So anyway, this down here, this is the bit I want to concentrate in a minute. I've put that up there. I should do the top half really, maybe get the VFO swapping working. That shouldn't be too difficult. And then this bottom half I want to have as almost the same looking as the FT-710 Waterfall, but instead of it, obviously we can't have a waterfall on it. So instead of having a waterfall, what it'll do is it'll go and do what this other thing does here. If you click, it'll go. I've got to change the colours of this as well. So it'll just go down and look at signal strength. So obviously it takes a finite amount of time. But what I'll do, I'll stop all other services. I'll somehow make a function that goes and fetches it with little or no disturbance to what you're receiving. So basically, if the channel goes below a certain level of signal strength, it will default to go and having a look at this band plan. Sorry, scanning the band, and it'll come up with one of these. But instead of the signal strength here, what we're going to do, we can't feed without a digirig, any digital audio in it or anything like that. Although we could sample the microphone, but that'll pick me up and everything, so we won't do that. So what we'll do is we'll just use this width of this signal strength. Some noise on this tonight. We'll use the width as the voice bandwidth and the power level. So basically, it'll just be a simulation. So what you should see, if you get back to this one over here, here we'll have them upright, and we'll use the data of the signal strength crossways. And depending on the scale, obviously we know the bandwidth roughly. Whichever frequency it goes to, it knows. It'll look up. We can tell it what the bandwidth is, so it can put this.
I've been in your shoes before, and when I had primitive equipment.
So what we'll do is we'll somehow use the signal strength and try and recreate a waterfall, but it won't be. You won't see a voice pattern, but you'll see. You'll see the width moving, and I'll draw the lines in a time over time. So every time it does a sweep, it'll fill it in. So it'll be, the hysteresis will be very slow. But if you sit there and you click, you'll have a button that does it as well. Just go off and scan the band, which you can do it off the front of your scope. On your radio you can click scope, but then it shuts everything down while it does a quick swoop. So so we can do, what we can do is some clever algorithm that it doesn't sweep like the scan does here. So if you go scan, here, oops, gone past it. So unless it's doing every 500, half a kilocycle a scan. So and normally we get a pattern. This will be finished in a minute. We get a pattern. You can see a build up around the transmission. So what we'll do is we'll scan in sections. So we'll jump across it. Well, hey, wow, nice project. Yeah. How you doing? I'll just welcome everyone to the live stream. I don't know if we get many people tonight because Darren streams tonight, doesn't he? So I shouldn't stream at the same time really, but I need to work on it, and I've already worked on it today and I've not streamed. I've missed out. I should have been streaming it, but anyway. Welcome to the live stream. Frank Kujoth, 3501, welcome to the live stream. Yeah, so we've got just doing some, we've got to do what we're capable, what the radio is capable of. So if you scan down here, you'll see some of the stuff like this noise. It's not very good. I'll have to change the colours in a minute. I've just changed it from a light grey to this, so obviously these aren't showing up. So what we can do is we can scan, and if we see we can take a mean value. It'll be a special scan that will take a mean value from the background level noise, and we'll try and home in on it. If it suddenly sees so if it's scanning, it's jumping the channels. If it sees a raise in the signal strength, we can get it to pause and backtrack slightly, or backtrack, because it's bound to have missed the actual channel, and then it can get backtrack and then come back through like that. So imagine, say, if it picks one bar up, because we've got to get to do it quickly. So if it sees one and it knows that the last time it checked was up here, it might backtrack a couple of half kilocycle or 250 to see if it can pick a better, stronger strength up, and then it'll store that one and then carry on. And when it's finished, it'll go and use the data and draw this down here. We'll have a waterfall gauge, almost the same looking, and it'll draw use the data to draw this graph, and it'll be on a timeline, so it drops down like that, so it slowly scrolls off. Because while you're listening, I mean, you might be on this channel, unless you're going to keep scanning like this. Hang on. Unless you're going to keep scanning. There's someone there, I heard them. And this has got to be change the colours as well. At the minute I should change that colour back, but we'll have to work on this. I'm doing the one display first. Yeah, it should be a nice project. Should be. I've got loads to do on it. I've got a lot of ideas. I know there's a limitation on what you can do with the radio, but I'm sure we can get some kind of simulation going on. So we drag this down here. Oh, it's strolling a bit fast out this, hang on. I thought I heard a voice here. Right, let's say go off, don't they? Nothing much going on there. They must have stopped transmitting. Yeah, it's always the same. Nothing much on, is there? That's a lot of noise there. See, there's typical load of noise on the channel. Look at that. So, I mean, you'll be able to easy. If you imagine that turns over 90 degrees across here, but we use the width data to. We'll have to do some calculations from the. You know, when you select your span, you have your span button. When the span changes, these will have to alter as well. We should be able to get a good representation of what's around. Let's see if there's anyone on 40 meters. And then we got the Morse code decoder built in as well. Works a little bit, yeah. Not reliably though at the minute. Right, is anyone there? Yeah, they're in the back of the box. I think someone said 6 meters was good. Oh, he's in Shropshire.
Basically in the countryside, and we've got a halfway. Well, it's a halfway for 80 metres, so it's 40 metres double it up in the middle. We've got a rounding field on the side.
Yeah, there's a lot of wind blowing in my ear to keep me cool. Yeah. There's loads of work to do on this yet, absolutely loads. But yeah, 10 minutes time, go and watch Darren M0DCX. Go and he's on a live stream. You see him doing a pile up. I'll probably have a listen as well, but probably YouTube won't like me broadcasting someone else's stream while I'm working. So, but pop back in after or from time to time. You'll see some progress, slow progress. I'll leave him in the background. Yeah, so I've got the calibration about right now. So I need to carry on with this. So I need to create this VF. I've got VFO label A and B, but at the minute it's just a label. It doesn't do anything. So we're going to have to extend the rig state to see if it has VFO A and B. So let's have a look at that for a start. So VFO selection, active VFO. So it's got a field in there already. So that's great. AI created this for me, so it's already got the info. Right, we'll take advantage of that then. So the main thing I need now is a VFO, a second frequency. Ah, so that's good. Yeah, that's good. I'm looking at the FT-710. I see the main VFO's got this here. So it tells you the VFO you're on, and it tells you your mode, and your watts. Well, it doesn't tell you watts, I put that in as an extra. But I need another little display, a mini one, with the VFO that gets swapped out, so it toggles the two. So I'm just thinking on the other radio, the FT-710, it's more square. So this display, you haven't got the gap from there to there on the 710. So I can either leave that there and push it underneath. Well, I want to keep this bottom area here clear. This is for the waterfall, and the bottom for the buttons to do the centering and other stuff. So we're going to keep in the same. So we're going to create those buttons. So we've got the middle area for this waterfall, simulated waterfall. Right. So I think I need to do the VFO. You know, I've got this left over from when we're transmitting, which doesn't appear until you key up the microphone. So we want the same again down here. So I've noticed that this occupies sort of half of that, so we could probably get another one here, slightly smaller. We need obviously to hyphenate the main one you're on and swap, so it does need to be smaller. Right, so I need to shove these down out of the way a bit. So I always want to keep the signal strength, but we've got to, we're not running, so this is not running, so I've got no signal strength. So we've got that one. Now we can either move these. Actually, we could put them there, couldn't we? I'm just wondering where to put them. We can either move this over here, put them over there. It's only the signal that appears, and then all this other stuff shows up when you're transmitting, and that swaps out for compression. I'll run it up. So let's just drop get the background. It looks better on the black background. Right. So I've got a live thing there. Yeah, 95 watts. We don't want 95 watts. So let's drop it down to 5. Say 10. There you go. Well, that's for the main. That obviously only alters the one that is the default, whichever one you've selected to become the active. Unfortunately, it's just so hot, and I really do not like the temperature. So I've basically been sort of trying to it's a bit awkward. Back to you, Simon. But anyway, go and watch Darren first. I'll be on for hours. Probably be on all night if I can. If it's not, doesn't get too hot. I'll watch Darren back tonight or something. Anyway, so I've got to decide where we're going to put this. So we've got the display on the front of the rig. This is just mimicking that at the same time as it's doing that. So the 710 doesn't have that; it just has the signal strength, and that's it. So we might not need this one. But if we don't have that, when we transmit, we need to swap this meter out. But at the minute, I can show all the meters. So if I was to, let's just swap this VFO out on the radio, and I'll select a different band. Let's just say we'll go on to 28, and then we'll Right, so what am I altering here? Nothing. That's interesting. Oh, I've locked it. Sorry, I'm on lock. I forgot I locked it. Right, so I've just got to take it up to 20. If I can, 29. I've got to implement a quicker way of getting up to these higher frequencies here. So I need to get up to the FM side of it, so I can just show you what happens here. I'll tell you what, let's just go down again. Let's just go down here. Right, let's just find something in between. That'll do. Right. So it's a bit dead on there. Right, so I'm on 10 watts, so I'm just going to pipe the radio up on 10 watts. So let's just do a test. Test only, G7UIV, test only, test only. G7UIV, test only. Yeah, so that's where the meters come in. So I've got to work out what we're going to do with that. Now I could either put them over here, and then they swap out for this one in the meantime. Yeah, that might be an idea. And we have got them over here. There's another set over here. There's actually two sets. The same thing. There's two sets. So if I lost them, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But when you're transmitting, either change this to reflect one of them, or two of them, or I think I'll put them over top of there for now. Let's do that. Right, let's just shut that noise up. There's a lot of fan noise and all sorts going on at the minute. Oops. Right, so I'm going to put all this over here. So what I need to do then is create a bit of a, put this in, let me just select that, come down here and find all those controls. Is that one? There, that's the S, that's that bit there. And you got that scale, so that needs to go with it. The power control, so right from here. So if we have right, so we need to put that in a bit of a canvas. Yeah. So let's put all that in a canvas. Right, so I'll put that inside a canvas. We'll get rid of it, we'll place it over the signal meter that when you transmit it changes over to the one with all the readings in for all the. So we've got a canvas there as well, so that's okay. So come out of the canvas and yeah, just have another canvas there. Right, okay, and now we need to move. This canvas needs to go over here. Right, let's make the background pink. You can't see it. Okay, why can't you see it? Where's it gone? Oh, it's gone right over there, over the controls. So you can't make the background pink. So let's put this right over the other side. So it's actually, yeah, we need to take it out. We need it in the tab, but not in this canvas. Now there's your meter. And your borders are all. So we've got a canvas. We're telling it to go right over there. So we're going to have to knock. Right, so we've got the whole thing, but we need to move it right over. You shouldn't be watching me, you should be watching Darren. He starts at R4, or has he not started yet? I'd watch him, but I'm busy on this. Go and watch Darren first. I'll be on here later. M0DCX. Search for him on YouTube. He's live. Should be live now. Unless he's not doing one, but I think he's doing one. Yeah. Yeah, let me tell it. If you're watching me, then you are missing Darren. M0DCX. Watch him first, then come back, please. There you go. Darren needs your support. I'm alright. I'm going to be on most nights doing this. So anyway, I'll be back. I'll be watching it later. Right, so we need to right, so we're on canvas 6, but we're stuck over this point here. So I need to take this out. Yeah, this needs to come out of here and out of the canvas. It's inside a canvas, so I need to come out of that canvas. Right, I need to come back probably here. Yeah, that might do it. So where have they all gone now? Hang on, there it is. Right, it says, oh, it's set more than once. So yeah, you can't have two canvases like that. So, right, hang on. So I've got to be in the canvas, but my main canvas is telling me. Hang on, let's get to the top of the canvas. So we got the control, the tab item. So you can only have one canvas. Oh, that's okay. That's where we need to be. So where was I then? No. So I might have been alright where I was. Yeah, so... That's a weird one. Okay, so let's just leave it where it was then. Okay, so back over here, right. You should be watching Darren, not me. I'm going to be here after. Don't forget Darren. Darren's having a pile up. I can't get Darren from here. I tried him. I could just about hear him on 40 meters. My aerial is such a crap antenna. He can never hear me. So I'm going to have to sort that out at some point. Right, so you've got canvas left. Right, so hang on, where are we? Yeah, so somehow I'm going to have to get that over there, and I can do minus. Let's do minus. Hang on, let's keep the 6. So I'm going to go minus, I don't know, 300. We can do that. We'll just cheat. We'll go minus. Yeah, we'll go. Actually, it's a bit too far over, so that's not quite far enough. Yeah, so that sort of lines up, doesn't it? Right, minus minus 20, minus 30, 40, 50, 60. Oh, it's too high, -50, so we'll centre it there. Yeah, and the VFO is going to have to get out of the way. So we'll have to move them VFOs out of the way, and probably it's too far over. Better line that up better. Right, that's sort of not too bad. Yeah, so we'll replace that for that. And what we'll do now, shove those power controls and that, so the frequency stays where it is. These I'll have to move a little bit over to clear the label. Yeah, because they're going to always maintain visibility they are. So let's go up to 6. Okay, so let's go up to 8, and we need some more, so probably I need a little bit more for clearance. That's it. So we go 92, and the last one 92. Yeah, so all we've got to do now is make this visible only when we're transmitting, so it's invisible to start with. So we've got to call it something. So we're going to have to give it a name. X name. We want the whole thing invisible. So this is the signal meters. Signal meters. So the bar graph signal meters. Bar graph signal meters. And it's a canvas, so we can make it disappear now. Visibility is hidden. There we go. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to disappear the meter. So we want to find the meter, which is this one here. That's a view box, so we're going to have to give that a name. So this is the analog signal meter. It's a view box. Always call it what it is. View box. And when you see it referenced, you know exactly what it is you're looking at. If I call it a label, I start trying to reference it as a label, it ain't gonna have it. So obviously you can make that, you can hide that at will as well. So you can just go visibility hidden, and then you can go back to the other one. We'll do this in code, and we'll visible, and they're black now on a black background, so we're gonna have to change them. I think I like orange, actually, quite like orange. So we'll work on them now. Let's get them orange. So let's see if we can change them to orange. So the label needs to stick out. We'll have that as white. Background black. On the left. Oh, that's the. No, that's the. Sorry, this one here. So it defaults to being black unless you specify. So let's make the foreground white. Okay, they're a bit weak looking, but never mind. Foreground white. That can stay as it is. So then we want to set the the grid. The grid to orange. Orange. Okay, I mean that isn't really the grid, but we could have color-coded stuff. Okay, so what color code? I don't know. I'll set them all to orange for the minute. That's a bit light colour, so I don't know what to set them to. ALC. I don't know if the FT-710 does anything with them. I haven't got the ability to. Yeah, just white, isn't it? Okay, tell you what. Right, we'll make the background. What should we make it? White. White, and then we'll make the foreground of the label black. That's it, yeah, black. Okay, and then we'll make the barcode. Sorry, the rectangle, bar graph rectangle. It's going to be orange. Right, so there you got orange. Okay, that'll do for that. I'm going to have to make some styles for all these at some point. Then we've got, that's the main signal strength one. So if you run that now, you'll see you won't see the meter. You'll see just that one being updated. Yeah. So if I turn the what are we on? So let's just change over to the other one. That's not the one. Yeah.
Highlight of the event. But great to speak to John. Thank you so much for the contact.
Yeah, so we can see that.
Strong signal. We've got a lovely HF station here, so everybody's basically loud and clear, no noise or anything. And maybe
I can listen to it.
pretty much the only time I come on HF nowadays. So 7320HWE/P G7RPG/P.
Right, let's carry on. So I ought to have a nip into Darren, see if Darren's alright, but anyway, we'll leave him for a bit. Right, so we've got these nested meters that show up only when you transmit. So let's sort these out then. So ALC. I ought to give them a colour code, really. Let me just ask ChatGPT. FT-710 ALC PO SWR and IDD. Do they have backgrounds and foreground colours? Probably, yes, they absolutely do. Right, power, foreground, just tell me here, hang on. Where's that gone?
I kind of like, I mean, some of the sort of, I guess the sort of poppy stuff. And
where's my thing gone?
Which is kind of similar sort of influence.
What's this?
I like the music, but well, I'm with Steve here.
It's gone back to the top.
Which is Mr. Hubnet himself.
What's it doing?
And a few of the Stuart MGW was kind of around, you know, one of the original people.
Yeah, so it is. I don't know why that scrolled to the top when I dragged it over here.
The GB3PM repeater and the
so, power, foreground whites, dark charcoal, mint green. Are they sure? ALC. Alright. Dodger blue. Can you convert to VS chat?
That's brilliant, Bill. That's made my day. It's always nice when you, I mean, you know, for me, me, obviously, it was quite an exciting day, and there was a lot going on. So I don't, apologies, I don't remember who I spoke to. I know there was a couple of people that popped up, and we were getting reports and what have you, but I don't remember. And but yeah, thanks for that. As I say, it's made my day hearing that.
No, I don't want.
Yeah, it's probably struggling a bit at the moment. We've got alarms coming through from it. We've got a few repeaters on the hilltop sites. There's one not too far from here, which is our flagship site, and it's constantly sending me over temperature alarm.
Oh no, it's not living. It's got confused.
The same, but I turn the reporting off. So if you notice it just disappear off air, it's because it's gone over temp. In the summer, it's the building gets too hot. It's got no air conditioning, and it goes when the PA goes over 60 degrees C, it will switch off. And then the fans will cool it down, it'll come back on again, and obviously just get stuck in a cycle. But it's only a few days of the year we have this weather, Bill, over. Yeah, tell me about it. Well, I'm working on these at the moment, I'm working the Anicom 7300, and I'm not working any 3 amps, I'm working straight radio, and you're giving me 40 dB. While you were talking, I actually put 3 amps 1 and 3 amps 2.
How you doing? Oh dear, it's warm today, isn't it? Christ. It is warm today, and the poor old power supply is getting red hot. Might have to put a fan on that. Right, there we go. That's better. Right, so we'll use these colours. But it's mixed them up now. It doesn't tell me what they're for. Oh, it does here. Needle red. Warning. What? What's it doing? It's misunderstanding me, isn't it? Oh dear. Is it used?
Basically unbox it and plug it in. So there we're running the 7300 Steve's radio. We've got 500 watts or so from L-Class KPA 500 amplifier. And the antenna is a doublet. It's an open wire feeder balanced antenna system made with D10 telephone wire. And my homemade balanced antenna tuner. It's up about 15 metres on a...
I think it's got confused. I want to check, but I don't know how to check on there. I press that. I go over to, I don't know, how do we get on to level controls? Monitor level, is that it? I don't even know what, half the stuff's not missing from here. Colour, marker, peak, level, I don't know. It hasn't got the same stuff. So let's say mic gain. No. Nah, it hasn't got it. It's telling me lies. It's it's what's it called? Hallucinating. It's hallucinating. AI hallucinates. And you have to tell it. What does it say? I think you are hallucinating. If I could spell that. Illuminating? No. Hallucinating. Dreaming. Yeah, you can't upset it. Ah, fair call. No dream. You see, I promise. Let me ground it back to reality. PO meter, the scale, labels and ticks. Pure white. Oh, I'm not on about labels and ticks. You think I'm on about a signal meter? Yeah, you're confused. Never mind. We'll relegate that to. So we'll just we can make our own up, but I think we'll just keep it. What looks good? We'll keep them all the same. Keep it all the same. I think my PC could actually melt today in this heat. So if it shuts off unexpectedly, it's probably melted. The fans are wholly inadequate. Right, so I don't want to go around all these meters and change them. So I'm going to have to make a... Right, so we've got a grid. So we're using the grid. So we need to make a meter, a bar graph meter style. It's a grid. Okay, so we're using a grid. Okay, so we'll create a new style. I don't think we've created one yet for a grid, not on this particular software application. So we'll just start one here. So we'll call it grid. So it's the grid style, and it's for the bar graph. Signal bar graph grid style. There we go. So I need to bring all those styles into here now. What is this doing? Oh, it's probably my fault. I've got wheels on this mouse all over the place. If you hit the wrong wheel. Yeah, you should watch it. You should be watching Darren. Anyway, right. I want a style because I don't want all this mess in the program. So we'll have to create a style. Let's just give that a bit of space. So we've also got it. There's our bar graph. That's a rectangle. What is that? So that's our placeholder. We've got a label. Oh, these are the labels, and we've got the rectangles down here. Yeah, got you. Got you. So there's one outside of the grid here. Hang on. TX meter. Right, yeah, so there's your bar. There's your main information. We're working with a tiny area here on the screen. So you need that to be able to see it, and this here. So anyway, so there's the bar graph. So we want a style. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Opacity. I don't know. I think we can just forget about the. I was trying to blend it in with before. I was trying to blend it in with the same colour screen on the real thing, you know, very light colour. So we don't need that no more, so we can get rid of capacity. We've decided to go coloured instead of what did I say it was? Initial idea of keeping the display monotone. We've abandoned that idea, so yeah, so we want 140 and 8i. So that's all we want in there at the minute. 140 8i. Background colour. It's transparent, I think. Actually, this is a rectangle we're dealing with here. So we need to make it a rectangle, not. So we're looking at a rectangle first. Okay. It doesn't have a background property, it has a fill property. So actually, oh, there's the fill, orange. Fill, we wanted orange. Okay, there's your default. So we need to apply a style to it, give it a style. So we need to copy some framework for it there. So there's your name, and we want to give it a style. Oh, it's not going to be called that though, it's going to be called this one. Signal bar graph grid. Oh, it's not a grid anymore, it's a rectangle. style. Right, okay. You might say, why does it matter? But if you're trying to do something co-behind, you need to know the right name. You can tell from the name what it is you're looking at. We know it's a signal bar graph, and it's a static style, and it's for a rectangle, and we know it's a style. Yeah, so we should be able to get rid of that now. There. Okay, and just apply that to all the rectangles. The only thing we can't apply is the X name and the position where it is. So we go down to the rectangles now, and here they are, and we're just going to swap that out with that one, and swap that out with that one, and then go down and swap the rest out until they're all done. Okay, I mean, you could have them different colours. Maybe we will, but they will be oscillating up and down. So now I can either make that orange as well. They were black before, weren't they? I think they'll just make them orange. Yeah, just to... So, where are they? Hang on. There it is. And there's the label. Right, so let's make that. Oh, we need to make that. Right, that's going to have to be done as well. So it's a grid. So this is. So that's going to be orange. Right, and we don't want an opacity on it anymore. So it defaults to 1, and we want the foreground to be white, not black. Oops, maybe it needs to be black. Looks a bit weird, white. Yeah, black's better. So we need to create a style now for this. So what we need to do is, yeah, so we want, so the label itself will be transparent by default, so we don't have to set that. That's fine. And it's going to be black. So we've got other label black, so we need to create another one now for the label. So we've got the let's make it a label. So it'll be a label, and it's a signal bar graph label. Okay, it hasn't got a fill, it's got a foreground. We're going to keep it black though, aren't we? Hang on. Yeah, we're going to be default, so we don't need to put that in. No fill. Right, what else do we need off this label? Height 38, no padding. Line and top, so we want some alignment stuff and font style and everything. Right, so I've done a similar thing with, that's a text block. Oh, there's a label. Yeah, so we want this here, all this stuff. Right, so all that, we're binding it to, it's looking for border for its ancestor, but just so we can change the one colour, but it's actually a grid. So we need to change that to a grid. So instead of changing colour twice on two different things, we just change one colour. Actually the background is transparent, so we don't even need that. and we're inside a grid, so on this occasion we don't need to change that, or we don't even need to specify the foreground either. So we just need to put the width in. So 38, there's no height. Font size is 10. So the width, did I say 38? No padding. 38. Padding 0. It's got a bit of a margin on it, so we're going to need a margin value. That value. Yeah, we've got a margin here, so we can overwrite that with that value. Consoleless, that's it. Font size, did we get a font size? 10 and bold. 10 and bold. Bold, we're already bold, that's it. Vertical alignment top and center, is that enough? So we've got vertical alignment top and horizontal alignment center, so that should be good. Anything else? No, we can delete most of that now and replace it for a style. So it'll just simplify this instead of having all this on there. And it won't like that because it wants the proper name of a label. It knows it's not a label. Right, okay, so we've got the top width and height. Now, do we need a width and height? Yes, we need a width and height because the background's orange. So, is it worth creating a style? Yeah, we could make a style. I think we did make a style. So, where's your grid? Oh, we took it off, didn't we? So let's create a grid style as well. We don't need all that, but we'll take it for now. So label grid. It's all very boring stuff. So we're going to call this one, what do we call it? That's just the, hang on, it's a signal bar graph label style. That's okay, so it's the grid, the signal bar graph label. It's the label grid, yeah, so the label grid style, that is what it is, yeah. Okay, so that's not arguing with us anymore. Actually, we've done the wrong one. So, why did it accept it? That needs to go, so we want 22 and 8, an orange. 22 and 8, and we want an orange. And that's all we want at the minute. There's nothing else on there. No, nothing else there. So we'll fill that up there. With that, it won't like it because we've malformed here. So the grid, it's not got a fill, it's got a background. And padding, I don't think we use padding. Let's get rid of all that. Right, so we've got signal bar graph label grid style. Okay. Okay, so put that one in there. Okay, so it's accepted it all now. The only thing is, oh, black, we said black was okay. Yeah, so we've got the two styles. So we need to change that. The rectangle's already been done. So we want to copy. Let's go and do all the grids. Get the grids the same. So there's another grid. Delete that up to the black. And we'll do the font in a minute. And there's another one. And the last one, I think, is the last one. Last one. What have we got going on here? And then it's the rectangles. Right, so we need to go up to the top one and take the label for S and give that a style to the label now. So we don't need the label. Yeah, all the labels got to be taken out. So the height, the margin, the padding, and the colour, and the font family, and that. There we go. And we've reduced the code. Long lengths of code gone. Keep the content because that tells you what it's going to have in it. Right. There we go. Some more. Keep the concentration going. It's got to be done at some point, so we're just doing it now. So I can't wait to work on this signal. This simulated waterfall. It's not going to be a waterfall, but it's a simulated one. We'll see what we can get out of it. Obviously the rig will only transmit data back and forth at a certain rate, but it'll go by time, so when there's no signal coming back it'll just leave a gap, so it'll fill in where it can, so it could make it somewhat look like one. Right, have I finished now? Yeah, so we're back to rectangles. The labels have all been done and we're all the same. Now for some reason there's a problem with the labels. They're not quite right. The bar graphs are not quite lining up, so we're going to have to sort that out. Right, let's have a quick look why that is. So width, height 16, so that's your label. Then you've got your border, your rectangle here is 140 wide by 8, so that's what it used to be. So something not quite right. Is it a padding value? Maybe we need a padding value. I didn't see a padding value. It doesn't like the padding value, so right. So the width then is height and width. Height 16. That's high. So they were perfectly spread out before, weren't they? Let's just run it up and have a look at the other one, see if they were lined up. Let's get it lined. Let's have a look at it. Rewind myself. Right, they're here. It's the same width, exactly. The height, sorry. Yeah, so I must have messed up somewhere. So, right. So we got the grid. Let's go to the top. There's the default one. Style. So the style's not quite right. Maybe needs a margin. So we've got our grid, no margin. Let's have a margin on it. Maybe there is no margin. Let's say 1. No, they've all gone down, so there was no margin. So it's the height, it's got to be the height then. Height. So we've got the rectangle's got a height of 8 and I've got a height of 9, so maybe that was a typo. I'll have to look back, unless I want to do loads of undoing. Oh, there you go. That's better. Okay, so we'll have that. Yeah. It'd be nice if these were different colours. Maybe we'll make them different colours at some point. But we're using the other meter, so I just needed to get them out of the way. So we need now to to switch them. So when we're transmitting, we want to switch them from the signal meter. So we need to make the signal meter default again. So that will be visible, and this one here is going to be hidden. There we go. So we need to reference both of those and change it when we're transmitting. So we've got to go back and find that function now, and it'll be done with the signal back off the radio in the handler, serial handler. On data receive, handle the cat. So go down to handle the cat. Here it's here. So we're changing signals down here. Read the meter. We're sending out. If the message starts with read meter, then if it's of type S meter, then we're doing something here. So for the S meter, yeah, that's going to be a bit awkward, isn't it? Now it does, when you're receiving, it sends it to the S meter. When you're transmitting, it replaces with comp. So where am I doing that bit? Detecting. So that must be done. Actually, it's the power. Has it done on the power? No, I've got to find out where I'm swapping over from detecting. Somewhere I'm changing the mode, not the mode. I'm detecting the power. Right, so how am I doing that again? I forgot now. Right, read the meter. Meter to update. Yeah, so it's not from there, is it? So somewhere I'm finding out whether it's transmitting or not. So there's your mode. Update rig mode. Is this it? Oh, transceiver state. Yeah, this is it. Busy mode, I think. I should put some notes in here really, but anyway, busy mode is 0. Light grey. Oh no, that's the receive. That's not it. Oh. So where is this bit then? How's it? I can't think how I'm doing it now. It's not in here. I must be polling it somewhere, but that's the frequency. Read the meter. That's updating 2 meters. Power output. Ah, that's it. I'm reading it off the power. Yeah, I'm doing it here. Yeah, because if you read the power, you don't get any value back. And if it suddenly changes, even with the power set to minimum, you still get a 1. So you still got a positive value, so you can work that. You can't use the TX state, because it will actually, if it gets corrupt, it starts the radio transmitting. Because we're sending lots of packets very fast. If it misses it, it'll start the radio transmit. So this is a workaround. You read the power one. So we're changing the transceiver state here. Alright. So when we do that, we need to, at the same time we change the state, we need to swap out the radio. So update miniature bar graph reading. So it's updating the meter, but we need to go into this bit here and change this, tell it to switch off. If the transmit state, we need to switch off the meter. If it's off and it's not equal to, it's quite complicated because FM does something else. Right, so if we're, hang on, let's find out what the normal state is. Right, so there's a normal state, light grey. This is for your signal meter. Your canvas, TX canvas billet is hidden. Miniature display, visibility, hidden. Yeah. So when we hide that, it's the same thing. So we're hiding that already, part of it, but we need to hide the full bit. So let's have a look here. Yeah, we're okay. So we need to switch that canvas off altogether, really. Which we can do here. So right, let's just do it here. Visibility equals right. What's it doing? Why is it not formatting me? So we're turning off the bar graph signal meter canvas. Yeah, when we're back, the radio is not TX in, the rig mode is not FM. Yeah, we're doing that. We also need to toggle the other one back on. So the new one we've put in signal meter. So that is the VFO meter, the view box. This one here needs to become visible. So we'll hide that one and then bring this one back to visibility. Visible. Okay, and we'll need them again in a minute. So when we get down to this one, if the state of the transceiver is off and the rig mode is FM, we still need to turn it off. That's just a different LED state. So again, hidden and visible. When we're transmitting here, when we're transmitting, we need to swap those around. So the bar graph, that's visible, and the other one is hidden. And it's an easy test to do. So that's it. We've done it in one place. Right. So let's have a look. See if it works. Should work. I wish I could watch Darren while I'm live streaming in the back, listening in the background, but I don't know if YouTube likes it when you're listening to a live stream and reissuing it out. It probably wouldn't like that at all. Anyway, so I've got a radio here, so we need to do some tests. So let's switch it over to let's go over to something we can change. So this will change and turn into the bar graph when I transmit. Let's just change the power to 5 watts. There it is. Right, here we go. We've done this before. That'll change to red. Here we go. G7UIV test only. G7UIV test only. So it works. The transition's quite fast, but G7UIV test only. G7UIV test only. Yeah, that'll do. Let's just see if there's any corruption or anything. It's not overlapping anything. G7UIV test only. Oh, that's fine. It's fine. It's good. Right. Let's have a scan, see if there's anyone to listen to. It's a lot noisy, these channels. We've got so much to do on this yet. Oh, the VFO next, I think. The AB VFO. And reproduce some of this for a smaller version of this, or somewhere down here. We want to keep the bottom half free for our simulated waterfall. Yeah, it turns it back on again. If you want to see if you found anything, you got to scroll down here. So 130. We haven't got a 130, it jumped past it. So what we need to do, we need the ability to tune that and perhaps double click or right click or something, send that to that one. Because if you send that one to there by doing that, it's going to be the wrong value. It needs to be that one. So, because it didn't pick it up, it hit the next one.
USB and end of the last over you're picking also 59. I really beautiful. Great. Okay, Henry, thank you very much. I wish you best 73 and this is Rose while I'm talking on the radio. And always nice to hear your voice in there. And now you have a 5 meaning United Kingdom. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I know you have a very hot temperature in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, you're right. So you collect them in here. I've got work to do there. So once they're in here, if that's already in, you can toggle them or just move these up and down. And all this display, it's got to be changed because it's from the old display. Anyway, let's yeah, I can't really take any Morse code. It's too windy to hear anything. There's your Morse code decoder. Let's just have a look, see if we can find anything. A bit weak. Right, I'll turn the fan off for a second. Right, fan's off. Let's start the decoding. Where's the Morse code gone? Where's it gone? It was there a minute ago. It's gone. Oh. It's too weak, isn't it? Too weak, I think. Let's try him. I've just got using the clarifier button. Yeah. That's too. Too noisy. It's where the human ear can differentiate. Anyway, we're straying off a bit. What we need is actually, I'm in the wrong mode here, hang on. Let's get into CW. Yeah, CW. Let's try the Z in. I don't know if it'll work on this. We didn't get any last time, did we? We need my aerial's rubbish. We need some better, stronger signals. Let's have a look on 40 meters. That's fast. Trying to Z in on it. try narrow band. Hang on. Noise blanker, that is. That's no good. My signals are very weak here. Yeah, it's not going to work. We had it working now. I could bring it up on. It's straying away from the work here, but let's just get one little sample off YouTube. Darren, 42 watching. Darren's on. Let's get some Morse code so we can play it. Right, let's turn this off. So this is, it's getting it through the microphone. This is it's getting it through the microphone. Right. Doesn't sync up sometimes. Sometimes if you stop it on and start it on a pause. Not having that one, is it? Hang on, let's try a different one. I need to change the writing to white now as well. I think you have to run it again. It's not like in this tone, is it? Right, let's try another one. Load of T's. I had more luck with it the other day. Let's try another one. Oh, that's a bit weak, isn't it? One more. We'll try one more. 30 words a minute. Have a look.
Today.
Elude 3808I. How would you simulate a waterfall with the audio? Well, I'll explain it to you. Let's just shut this off. Anyway, we on a couple of videos back, or one video back, we had that working sort of. Yeah, so what let me turn the fan on. I'm starting to roast. So what I think we can do, the radio we know is not capable of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a grid, same as the FT-710. Right, we're going to look like a waterfall here. And we're going to have a band, a span. We're going to use the buttons, the same buttons we have on the other one. And what we're going to do is we're going to fetch a signal strength. So we're going to hang on. So if I go, just start this up a minute. Hang on. Right, so if I go over to this display here, if I do a scan, you caught me at the wrong time. I'm just changing the colours and they're blending in. So they're got to make all these orange. So what it's just, the signal strength on this rectangle, it has a width. So what we do is this list here. It's just a list. You're going in half kilohertz steps, and you're having a look at this, reading the signal strength. You're going up the frequency based on. If you want more reads, you have to just knock the threshold down a bit and start again. And this will tell you how many reads you've got. But what we can do is we can do a scan through, and anything that has got a signal strength, you get the ambient noise first, the background noise, and we'll have to have a level control that will actually be the threshold level. Yeah, so we'll have whichever mode we're in, we'll have this knob or something that you scroll and sets the threshold level. So, because you'll need to do that, otherwise you're just going to see everything over a signal strength of 1. So instead of just having a barcode, so if you turn this 90 degrees on its back, instead of just having them up, we'll keep them. We know the frequency they're at. We'll take the reading of the signal strength. It'll work out where the floor is, and well, you can adjust your threshold, so that will be the same as the level. If you go on 710, press if you stick it on level, and then you dial your level up and down, you bring up the bass. I haven't got anything in this radio at the minute, no aerial, it's on the other one. So you bring up the level, go from nothing appearing to everything appearing, set it somewhere about, so that'll be your level, that should be your threshold. Okay, so that can be come in for this as well, so it'll alter itself here. So let's say you caught me when everything's the wrong colour. So what we'll do is I'll get it to draw this. It'll draw the scale out, whatever the span is, same as it does there. It goes, what's it going to? I have mine on 50k, so it goes minus 25 to plus 25k, so the back, and the 0k is in the middle. So what it'll do is whichever band you're on, you've got to set it. Obviously, set something to say I want you to scan this band, or it might just do it anyway. It won't do it while you're transmitting, and it won't do if you're on a set frequency and there's signal strengths coming in, so it's active. It won't cut in. But periodically, depending on how fast I can get it to go, scan through, and what your bandwidth is on your span, or at the minute I'm scanning every half a kilohertz. But if you do scan and you see someone or noise, say, you'll obviously, if I click that, there's no one there at the minute on that one. Let's find someone there. Just about someone there. So I can get the program, when it sees a signal strength over your threshold, what it'll do, instead of jumping wide steps, it'll backtrack and step through at a slower step, and then take more scans, so it can zero in from the signal strength. It listens long enough. I know it's not going to do that, but it'll take too long. But it's easy to do in an algorithm. So anyway, for the graph, I will use this data. It'll be a single line in time, that will, instead of having them, we're not doing modulation width, we'll be doing signal strength width. So basically, when they talk loud, more power, that will be wider. So, and a similar thing happens with, happening when they talk on sideband. It's basically sidebands. Obviously we'd be doing a waterfall for sideband and not really for FM. I don't know how we'd do FM, but I'm not that worried. It's just the sideband side of it for now. So waterfall power level, so you'll be seeing as they speak, you know what I mean, as they speak, well, it's obviously got to go along and scan it. But you could have one while you're listening to somebody. You could have it doing this level. It's a hysteresis of signal strengths, basically. And if you're on a set frequency, you could see it there. And if you go in all the way back, if you're covering a wide span, obviously the wider span, the worse it gets, or the smaller the detail gets. And the more jumping it have to do, the longer it takes to sweep across. So anyway, we don't know, obviously, for doing a sweep, but I was thinking it'd be nice if it knew, if you take your sweep, so your span details, and it would periodically go and scan one of the in between the span. So it would take one reading, a sample, record it, but as quick as it can, issue the command, look for the, switch the frequency, record the signal strength, and then switch you back. A bit like modern day, when you play wave sounds on a computer. Earlier on, they had to jump from one to the other, and they do it so fast that they'll you think there's more than one playing at once, and it's just jumping around in between faster than you can. So you will might hear a little click here and there, but you can set it. Don't do it unless, if it's quiet, go right ahead and do it. Or you might say, click a button, just scan it, which you can do do a scope. But instead of it just being I suppose it's something similar on the radio when you go to scope. But that has an ability to, obviously, if I press it down, I'm just looking at the rig now, there's active data, and it's going minus 175k to plus 175k. And I'm sat in the middle, and I can see actively, it can't do audio and that, but it is getting that data from somewhere. Now, whether I can interact with that data, whether that's exposed to the CAT system, because that, I suppose it's just doing a similar thing. It's picking up signals, and that's quite quick. I'm just looking at it now, it's quite quick, but it cuts out the audio. So I don't know what that's doing. Maybe that's doing measuring signal strengths as well. Anyway, so rather than show you nothing, I'm just going to show something, and it'll be lined up over it. It'll be lined up over the frequency on the span, so it'll line it up, and it'll know what your default bandwidth is. We'll tell it what the bandwidth is, the bandwidth for each band. You know what sections on there that the normal transmission bandwidth is, and it can alter that. So you'll see a waterfall falling away by time, and instead of it being a waterfall with sideband or whatever it is, demodulated sideband, power, and it's all of those things, isn't it? You'll see a signal strength which in some parts changes to the power you're using at the other end. Anyway, that's the idea. So there's a limitation of how fast you can read and write the data, but I'd have to read. Could ask the question. Let's just ask the question now to guess who, ChatGPT, or we'll use Gemini. I think ChatGPT's put me off. New subject. Right, what's it doing? Is it woke up? Right. Oh, it says new subject, but it's put me right back here again. Upgrade. I keep getting harassed to upgrade. So what I'm going to do now? Oh, I haven't said I to yet. Hang on, let me say welcome to everyone. Don't want to miss anyone. Hang on. Welcome at Elude. Ah, it might have gone. 3808. Elude. Yeah, it's not coming up, so I'll just say hello to you. Welcome anyway, if you do pop back in. I don't know if you're still there. Right, so try and welcome everyone in. Yeah, no problem. So what I need to do is get... Why is this like a funny scroll bar? What is going on here? I tell you what, let's just cancel that off and get Gemini back up. It seems to tag you're it. Oh, right, whatever. So FT-891 YAESU cap control. The rig has a SCP, a scope button that sweeps a what does it do? Sweeps a span from minus 175 to plus 175 kilohertz. Do you know if anything to do with the scope is what's the word? Presented, available. Oh, you're there, yeah. Didn't find you. I don't know what's the spelling. Elude 3808. Yeah. It's funny it didn't find you. Oh well. Yeah, so normally type in there and put your at in and it finds you. Does that sometimes, I think. Ah, well done. Yeah. So anything to do with it with the scope is exposed to cat control. Please use the uploaded file to examine thoroughly. I can't spell. Thoughtfully. Thoroughly. I don't know how to spell. Anyway, right, so let's upload the file. I've uploaded this so many times. Right, here it is. There's the cat control. Right, go. So come back tomorrow. You've had enough for one day. Yeah, I'd probably say now there's nothing. You know, can't do nothing with it. But I won't listen to it. I'll do it another way. Even if it just speckles it across. The spectrum scope is not exposed to the transceiver's cat control. Here are the details for analysis of the command reference manual. Absence of scope command. This would be so cool on FTX1. Oh, I don't know. Well, let's welcome another one. Oh, it's picking that one up. Just welcome everyone. Until it gets too much, then I won't be able to do it. But anyway, I'll keep on. Welcome to the stream, mate. So this would be cool on FTX1. Now, I thought the FTX1 was an all singing, all dancing thing. I haven't got an FTX1. They're nice. I've thought about it, but yeah, it's bad time. Bad time for expensive things. But having said that, I've spent probably that much money in bits anyway. So anyway, yeah. Like I was saying the other day on a live stream, why haven't YAESU made one at a front end to their cat control? Well, they're busy making radios, I suppose. But they're missing a trick if they don't. They should be making them. Should be making them. I suppose nobody's asking for it because the rigs are so full of features. The FT-891, to me, I mean, it's fine. It's 8 or 9 years old when they came out, so it's a great little radio. It's not designed to expose everything, but I mean, for what the protocol's a serial thing back and forth. I'm not a fan. It can be done much better, but yeah, I suppose they've got to base it on historic systems or the way people interact with radios in the past. It's a bit like the old MIDI interface. It was based off older ideas, but don't know. Anyway, let's have a look at this, see what it says. The absence of a scope command. The PC control command tables list all the alphabetized 2-letter cat commands available. There is no command dedicated trigger or sweep, retrieving spectrum data or changing scope settings such as a historical map to the scope. No menu overrides. While the 891 allows certain settings to be adjusted via cat by mapping them directly to internal menu numbers via the yields entries for LCD cards, dimming and autofill, but nothing related to the configuration of data of the scope. Because they utilise a basic analog sample sweep and mute style snapshot scope rather than a true real-time digital pan adapter. YAESU did not build any serial interface pipelines to trigger it or pipeline its visual data over the USB UART. If you're developing software or automating the rig, you will not be able to interact with the scope. Okay, so I could use the signal strength reading from read meter and use the scale, use the reading as a width parameter to display on a grid like the FT-710. Display a grid on like the FT-710. Band. So what do they call it? A span of minus 175. Okay, well, let's just take it like that, 50 kilohertz, minus 50 kilohertz to plus 50 kilohertz, and the data would fall away over time. The replacement of the I don't know, SSB signal on the FT-710 would be draw a line graphic horizontally the line length would be representative of the signal strength at the time of reading. The software would sweep the span. Software would sweep the span in steps of, say, 1000 hertz. Store the data in an array. Store the data in an array, and when the sweep reaches the plus 50 kilohertz, the grid graph would be updated and scroll down a pixel Do you get the idea? It's either going to slate me or say, oh yeah, well, that is a great idea, or it's a bad idea. Let's see. Yes, I absolutely get the idea. You're essentially designing a custom waterfall display and spectrum scope by using a sweep by cat method. By programmatically shifting the transceiver's frequency across a specific span, measuring the signal strength at each step, and plotting those values, you are creating a DIY pan adapter. Since the FT-891 lacks an internal digital pan adapter data stream, this is a very clever workaround to visually map out activity on a band. Here is a breakdown of how your logic will work, along with a few technical considerations and optimizations you will need to keep in mind to make it work smoothly. How the proposed logic translates to execution. The sweep array, you will create an array with 101 data points to cover 52 whatever there, yeah. The command loop, your software will send a cat command to change the frequency, e.g. FA or FB. Wait a brief moment for a rig to settle and then send the read meter command to fetch the signal meter value. The scope top off. Once the array reaches plus 50 kilohertz, your software draws a traditional 2D graph. The x-axis represents the frequency steps, and the y-axis represents the signal strength line heights. Not really. I was doing it by width, just like the spectrum scope on an FT-710. Maybe, maybe not. The waterfall bottom off. To get that classic waterfall effect, you translate the S meter numeric value into colour palette, e.g. weak signals are dark blue, strong signals are bright red. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yellow. You draw this as a 1 pixel high horizontal line of colours. When the next sweep finishes, you shift the entire image down by 1 pixel and draw the new line at the top. Technical challenges and optimizations to consider. While the logic is sound, executing over serial cat commands introduces a few physical limitations. You will need to program around audio muting and chirping. When you change the frequency of the transceiver via cat commands, the internal phase locked loop PLL has to unlock and relock to the new frequency. The issue. This usually causes a brief audio click. You're right, it does. I've seen that at the start of a scan. Pop or mute. If your loop sweeps 101 steps continuously, the radio's audio will likely stutter constantly or go completely silent when the sweep is active. The workaround. Most operators who use this method either mute their software audio during a fast sweep or design the software to perform the sweep in short bursts, e.g. sweep for 2 seconds to build the map, then let the user listen to the center frequency for 5 seconds. Yeah, I won't do that. So serial latency versus sweep speed. To get a smooth, fast uptaking scope, the loop needs to run as quickly as possible. The math: if you have 101 steps and each step requires sending a frequency command, waiting for the radio, sending an RM read meter command, and waiting for the response, you are looking at 202 serial transactions per full sweep. At the FT-891's maximum baud rate, 38400, each transaction takes a few milliseconds. If a single step cycle takes 15 milliseconds total, account for several serial travel and internal processing delay in the rig. A full 101 step sweep steep will take about 1.5 seconds. That's alright. I don't mind that. Optimization. To speed this up, widening your step size. Instead of 1 kHz, use 2.5 kHz or 5 kHz steps. Yeah, you can optimize it. A 5 kHz step over a 100 kHz span is only 20 steps. At 15 milliseconds per step, the entire screen will refresh in 0.03 of a second, making the scope feel much more real time and responsive. AGC, automatic gain control delay. When the radio jumps to a new frequency that happens to have a very strong signal, the radio's internal AGC clamps down. When it jumps to the next empty frequency, it takes a few milliseconds for the AGC to release and show the true background noise floor. Optimization. If your scope looks smeared, where a strong signal seems to bleed heavily into the frequencies immediately following it in your sweep direction, you may need to add a tiny millisecond delay in your code right after the change in the frequency, or set the FT-891's AGC to fast while the sweep is running. Yeah, if it's available, I'll change it to fast. Change it back down again when it's finished. Your logic is entirely viable and mimics how early software controlled panning adapters worked. Before SDR, software-defined radios became mainstream. By optimizing your step size to keep the serial loop fast, you can absolutely build a functional visual band activity grid for your FT-891. Nice. Okay, thanks. I will come back to this subject soon. You're very welcome. Blah 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 blah. It's fun planning your software. Catch you soon. Have fun planning it. It also works in timing loops. The serial command format and drawing the actual graphic just to drop a message. Right. Anyway, yeah. So we can have a go, and if we just reproduce the scope, the FT-891 scope, then that's better than nothing as far as I can see. But we've got some ideas. Anyway, yeah. Right. Okay. Yes, this would be cool. How would you simulate a waterfall with the audio? Well, yeah, it's not using the audio. It can, if I'm quiet, and I could feed the audio through the microphone and sample it, basically, but it would pick my voice up as well. But yeah, it's already doing that for the CW decoding. Just using the microphone at the minute. Oh, anyway, oh, God, I've got to go now and get a top up of a drink. It's getting hot in here. Right, so 2 hours, and have we done a lot in 2 hours? Oh, we've done a little bit. We need to get that VAB function working. It's very hot to be working though. I don't know if right, let's get the VFO done and then we'll get onto this graph for another day. There's loads to do here. So I need to create another label. So that frequency, we're going to have to rename that for a start and call it where has it gone? Down the bottom. Hang on, let's click that, we can get to it quicker. Right, so the frequency label, it's going to have to be the main frequency label, so we'll rename that and call it large. We'll call it the large one. That could be confusing, but what do they call it? It says VFOB now on my radio. It depends when you're swapping it. I'll call it selected in use VFO. Yeah. Frequency label. What should I call it? Selected VFR, I don't know what to call it now. What shall I call it? Sometimes I spend too long thinking of names. Oh, I'm in CW and it's SSB. Where are they gone?
Mexico and the 0 Sugar Delta Radio. Mike and the 0 Sugar Delta Radio QSL.
God, it's warm today. And the sun is on the back of here.
Mexico and the 0
So,
Sugar Delta Radio QSL.
let's go for a bit less, sort this VFO out. So, it's a frequency label, but we need to differentiate it from the other one. I'll call it the main one. It's the main one. Alright, so we're going to have to compile this. It's going to complain now that there's missing a label. At least that'll find where we've got to change it. Succeeded. Can't have done. Right, so we're going to change that to main frequency label. Actually, we'll have to create a... I'll change it for now, but we will have to create probably a dictionary of rig states. Yeah, I'll have to create a dictionary of rig states. Not the weather for programming stuck in a house, I'll give you that. Right. Let's create a new label then. And the label, we can just copy that. And we'll just put it underneath it actually. Yeah, we'll put it underneath. And it's called sub-frequency label, main, non-main. What is it? Small one, VFO. It's not VFO A or B because it got swapped. So it's the opposite of whatever it is you switch to. So you've got the main one. I'll just call it a sub-frequency label. There we go. Okay, we've got to change the size and the position of it and grey it out a bit. So at the top, so we're going to bring it down. We'll make it smaller. Give it a... make it smaller. Just make it grey. Light grey. Okay, maybe it needs to be darker grey. We'll take off. I see we still got an opacity on it. Don't know why we got an opacity on it. Yeah, we don't need an opacity on it. Right, we'll have to make so it's the same font. The font size, we'll bring it down. How small do you want it? Something like that. Okay, we need to place it somewhere like... it's right in the middle. It's right in the middle of the display, so let's do that. It's right there. Need a little, need a level. We need a function. We need a little label there to tell us what function we're on. So I need to come. Oh, that needs to come across a bit. Let's come back a bit. Something like that will do. Then down a bit more.
Signal 0, Bravo.
It's actually quite a way down, so let's give it some more space. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, and we've got to somehow put the VFO and the mode down here. So we need to copy that next. That looks a bit too light. It's a lot darker than that, so let's just try grey. It's a bit too dark. Slate grey. Yeah, slate grey, that'll do. Alright, that's going to have to be moved as well. Okay, drop shadow, it's got a drop shadow, yeah. Okay, so that's that. So we've got that there. Let's just turn this down, it's starting to get nice. Let's stick the VHF radio on. I've got 3 radios all off 130 amp power supply now. Anyway. More noise. It's not a hobby. It's not a hobby if you're affected by noise, is it? We're all going to be deaf, you know. Listen to this static all the time. Probably all deaf. Darren's done his weekend stream on mental health for men. I think the next one ought to be hearing for amateur radio people. Check their hearing, yeah. Right, so we want a copy of these two, but they look like they're in a... Ah, they're actually the same size. Oh, that's okay then. That makes it easier. So your VFO, so we need another one of them. And we're going to have to call this one AB. That's the AB label. Right, so we're going to have to say, oh, main. It's going to have to be called main VFO and main label. And the rig mode's going to have to be the main one. USB and main again. Main and sub. Power control. Well, that's the main one. I don't think we're going to have a power. Yeah, we're only going to have the power control on the one we selected. We're not going to detail the one that's not selected. So there won't be enough room. But yeah, that was an extra thing I put in. It's not on the FT-710. Right, so we've got... let's compile that because that's going to moan a little bit. So let's compile it and find the ones that it's only there. I'm just going to put the main in front of it. That's it. Back to this one. Right. So I've got USB. So I need to copy them. And they need to go... Well, they can just go underneath here, can't they? Doesn't matter. At least I know where they are, and I'll call them sub. Actually, I think one of my radios calls it sub. Yeah, this dual band FTM510D. It's got main and sub, so yeah, that'll do. Good call, Dave. Sub. Talk to myself now. Right, so I've got main and sub. Okay. And we'll just call that one VFO-B. And the problem is they're exactly over top of the old ones. So let's move them across. And down. It's going to have to come across and down, this one is. Let's go across some more. Down. bit more down. And some more. That's not bad. It's too far over. It's a little bit too far over still. Yeah, you need to clear that. Yeah, clear that text because you want to come back down. And some more. Yeah, I'll leave it there for now. And you can already see it's encroaching into this area we want to keep. Right, anyway, so we're going to bring that one over as well. 3, 4, 6. And it needs to come down to about... That's too much. That's not bad, that's it. Right, so yeah, so we've lost a bit of space there. But there is a whole new section. This is where they have the clipping and the voice thing. Depends on which mode you're in. I'm just going off the mode I always leave my radio on. So it's different modes. So we've got that. Let's make it different. Let's make these different. So we'll make the default ones different. So the frequency will be sub-frequency. So we're going to make that, let's make it 28, no, 29, 600, and then we'll change it to FM just so we've got something different to look at. FM, there we go. Yeah, that's it. Right, so yeah, we're a bit wider than what we wanted, and they do occupy less space. So I can either bring that down to the bottom, or actually I could shove that up there at the side because we've got more gap than. Yeah, it's gonna have to be slightly different, this one. So let's just go back a bit. Right, actually that'll make you think it's that one, won't it? Oh, I could put them in line, but confusing to the eye to look at though if it's in line, horizontal. Would make more sense. Don't know. See, if I shove it up here, people think that's on about that when this is the real one. So it's got to stay down, hasn't it? Right, okay. Let's put that back where it was and bring the frequency down, the sub-frequency down a bit. So sort of like that, maybe. Oops. Yeah, it doesn't look good. I'll tell you what we'll do then. We'll do something, we'll move it up, we'll put it in the middle. Something like that. That's it, you know what that is then, yeah. Well, I don't know. Needs something rounded, doesn't it? Needs something round it. So this is for that one. Don't know how you do that. Oh, and that'll have to be blue as well. Sorry, white. Sub-frequency label, hang on. Sub FM. The style, it would have to be white because white is the background for, oh, and then you'd have to make your font style, you have to override your label font style. Foreground will have to be black. Yeah, because I'm just doing it because I'm swapping it here. The program will swap that to the right one. Yeah, the program will do that. So, where do I go from here? Yeah, so it's a bit scattered around, isn't it, really, if you think about this. I'm just copying what they've got here. Should I say copying? Making it styled like that. Styled similar, let's say that, not copy. You can get locked up for copying stuff, I think. Yeah. Anyway, unless I make them smaller. They are the same size. I could make them smaller, or put a frame around it, little frame around it. There isn't a frame round on this one, but I suppose we could put it round. Yeah, let's. I don't know. I don't know. I'll leave it alone for now. We'll see what it looks like in use. So we do need a yeah, when we switch the, so we go on to here. So when we switch the function on, whichever one we're on here, that needs to be that needs to come up in the top over there, so that's easy enough. So we need the same thing there, a label, but it's a transparent one with a border. So it's right there where that thing exists. So we need to move that fast slow thing out the way, if I can find it. Finding it's not easy. So fast slow, what did I do with it? Don't know where it is. Yeah, it's going to be a long project, this one. It's quite a long project. Oh, there it is. Right, the fast slow. I don't know where to put that for now. Let's move it down. Let's just move it down 200, and we know we've got to shift it another day. Right. Okay, so back up to this label. We need another one. Alright, so hang on, that's not the right one. Here we are, sub. So we want another border. Yeah, it's a rounded rectangle, so we'll have to make it manually. And it comes after the other side of the frequency, sub-frequency. So let's just make it up manually, shall we? Right, border. X name. Actually, we don't need to do anything with the border. We don't only need the content. So border. Let's make a border. We need to give it a canvas left at the top. Alright, so canvas left and top. Let's make it have a width and height. Width 10, height 10. Right, so we want it. Don't know what it'll be, 100. Maybe it's too big. Let's make the background pink so we can see it. Right, we're up there. So we need to come down and across. Too much. Too much. Right, That's sort of square onto the end of the, yes, just square on there, isn't it? Okay, so the width is too wide. We need to move it across a bit. It's not bad, a little bit too much. That's not too bad, it's alright actually. It needs to have a rounded, it needs to be rounded. Corner radius needs to be 3 or 2. Is it 2 or 3? Can't remember what I set it to now. What did I set my other ones to? Corner radius, where are you? Can't see it for looking. 3. Corner radius 3. That's okay. Height needs to be different, so 20. It's not bad actually, probably 18. Alright, top needs to go back a few. And more. Sort of like that. Yeah, we'll leave it there. And the label, we'll have a label in it. Yeah, label can be just a normal label. It'll be orange. Okay, so this label is going to be the function mode selected. Function mode. Yeah, function mode will do, and I've got mine set on level, so I'll just put it on level. And it hasn't got a style at the minute, so take the style out, even though that's not bad. It's not italic, so font style is standard. Font family is Consolus. Foreground colour is orange. Background colour is transparent. I'll just take that out of there, so it's already transparent. Now the border brush thickness will be 1. No, that's the colour. So the colour is going to be slate grey. Slate grey or just grey? Grey. Can't see it. Light slate grey. No, we haven't got our border thickness set yet, so we won't see it. Border thickness 2, 1. What is it? Let me just have a look. It's actually white, so it's not slate grey, it's just white. So white. Okay. So we're going to need some more formatting here. Padding 0 and horizontal alignment center. That'll do. Horizontal content alignment center, and then you want your vertical alignment top, vertical content alignment top, so it's almost the same. Then we want a margin of down a little bit, say 2 pixels, no, 1 pixel, there we go. Okay, so we've got our function label done. Right, so we need to introduce our function label. Text needs to be changed whenever we change our function. So if I go on there, here we go, selection knob area, right, mouse down or mouse up. I think it's done on the mouse up. Right, so no, it's not that one. As you tell, change function menu, go right, go left, off the mouse wheel. Yeah, so function menu class change function. So I've got to go to that one and have a look. So we want to change, what are we passing in here? We're passing in the function menu grid. We need to pass in that label as well. So it's a label, and I'm going to call it this function mode label with a, yeah, you can call it the same. Okay, so we're going to bring that in, and we'll have to put that into find all references. It will have to go into here, be passed in with it. Right, then down here we'd have to use it. Oh, hang on. So we need a private static label. I'll call it the same thing. And then we need to do similar to that. Right, so we do that, and then we'll be able to access that from anywhere down here. So what we got? Get water by tag. So we've got to sort out what we're going to do here. If we go right, go up. Get border by tag. What's that? The border. What am I doing? Why am I getting border? Children off, match border. I don't know what I'm doing here. Function menu selected item. Okay, so once we've selected it, we need to do something with it. If it's not null, we're selecting it. We also need to set the name of the function menu class. So somewhere we've got something with a load of names in, unless we are not naming them. We're not doing anything, we've only just made it. So we, oh, here they are. Here they are. So what we need to do is translate that into the names, because we're now we're now going to use them. Yeah. Okay, so we could just do it directly off the name down here. So we can get the we've took the children and the border. Now as I need to have a look at that function menu. It's going to be right down the bottom, is it? Here it is. So we've got function menu tab grid, and we've got a border. So we've got individual things. Oh, we've got a tag and left mouse button down. So we're finding which one it is. So let's have a look in there. Once we've selected it, actually we could probably do it in there. Go to the definition. So when we're selecting it, all we've got to do is update. That's in the main anyway. so we didn't need to pass that in at all. So we're getting border by tag, so that's in the function. We're selecting a border, but it's not the border that's got the name, is it? Oh, it is. It is the border. Oh, it's by tag, but we haven't given it a name. I could give it a name, or I could just read its text block, which is not exposed, because we weren't using it at that point. So it's better if we just get it straight out of there, isn't it? So we've got level. We'd have to get it from its child element. So we're setting it up as a border, and then we're passing the switched value through. Is that all we're doing? So that's literally all we're doing. So we could probably get the child element out, unless we do cheat a bit. There's one called name, isn't there? Don't know if it'll like this. Now the tag's already been used. It doesn't. No, you can only have one or the other. Okay, so we're not going to be able to cheat. So we want to. So we're going to get the control. All we're getting out of it is the border. We need to get the child element, but the child element will be called something different. So we've got the number, we'll have to just retrieve it back again. We'll have to create a function, I think. We'll have to just detail these here. At the top we'll have to create a string to go with these. So best way of doing that, the best way of doing that is to copy that and give it to ChatGPT to spit one out, or something like that. Could you do me one last favour? I say, no, you've had enough now, stop it. I need to create a string value to based on this using the struct names. Yeah, struct names as string fields. Here we go, have at it. A bit quicker than I can do it. Different ways to create. It's going to give me the, it'll say, ah, you're doing it wrong. Of course I am. You can do it in reflection, you can retrieve the actual name, but I need to put them to uppercase. I've got different camel case, I've got names. Right, function menu byte, hard coded array. Yeah, I think I'll do it that way. Yeah, old school way of doing it. Yeah, that's the way I'll do it. Get name. Okay, we could just copy out a whole thing there. I'll do this nicely. Yeah, that'll do. So that's quicker than me writing another one. Okay, so we're going to have to do a public. Actually, it's a private one, isn't it? Actually, that's not in the right place. let's undo that. That needs to go down into this bit here, I think. Yeah, it's a menu help with it. Yeah, we'll just put it as a function. It needs to be, no, it's an initializer. That's a function. Okay. Right, so we need it in here somewhere. That's the constructor. So we need it in here. Okay, now this one has to go somewhere else. Down here will do. And I always put stuff under the constructor, not above it. It just makes things easier. Right, so get name, there we are. They're all lowercase. Oh dear. I'll probably get it to put them to uppercase, or I think they're all. That's level, peak, marker, color, contrast, dimmer, M group. So basically, yeah, they're not going to be like this, or are they? Well, tell you what. Let's just get it to do it. Do you mind awfully? I don't even spell that. Awfully. How do you spell awfully? Awfully. Yeah, no, it's wrong. Awfully. Making the string uppercase. He'll say, you cheeky bastard. No trouble whatsoever. Alright, yeah. Oh. It's doing it 3 different ways. There it is. Oh no, it hasn't done it. Now it's done it. There we go. Saves me doing it. It will take ages. Oh. Can do that, but I can't get the step in. Oh. Right, okay. Extension settings. So they aren't going to appear up there. We'll keep them, but they'll never appear up there. Although we do go. Hang on. Oh, menu names. Doesn't know what menu names is. Ah, that's why. It's renamed that. There we go. So this won't put it in yet, but I just want to see what happens. Alright, so click that. You got all this here, and you can scroll down to all of them. Even back. We'll probably get rid of back eventually. Put 2 of our own things in there. Right. Okay, so what now? Yeah, we don't display settings. That'll open up a different screen. These will, and the rest of them will just. That'll open up a different screen. All that will. These things, all the rest of it here will do like that. Adjust it on the fly. Mic gain can be done like EQ level can be done. So whichever one you set, the last one, and you click off it, it just so they are split into, yeah. So I need to put the space in them. Marker, color, contrast, dimmer, M group. That's going to be like that. Mic gain, mic EQ, processor level, AMC level, Vox level, Vox delay, anti-Vox, RF power, Mono level, Kia, BK in, CW speed, CW pitch, BK delay, message, record, play, ASSCF. Can't remember what that was now. Right, I'll have to just run it again. It's quicker than trying to find it in the list. Right, so we got BK, a hyphen, and a hyphen, and a hyphen, and a hyphen, yeah. So that's okay. Right. So we want a hyphen and a hyphen. Anything else wants an hyphen? Radio setting, CW setting, operation setting, extension setting, back. So let's have another quick go over. M group, mic gain. So it's got to be able to fit all these long texts. It ain't going to fit it. So, well, yeah, it's not going to put back up there all this, so we'll have to limit it. When it gets to the end, we'll have to stop it doing that. We'll leave them in though for now. Yes, so everything else is good. Yeah. Okay. So we'll have to limit. If it gets to one of those, that's a point. Let's just see what this one does. So I go function, and I set it on. Just leave it on that. TXW. So it's going to take me into a different menu, isn't it? So back will take me out. So it's on level at the minute. So yeah, I got it's taken me into a separate menu. So it'll only show you if it's a proper menu. Then we'll have to limit it. Right. Okay. So right, what we need to do now is get this name introduced into it. That'll be done. We don't need to pass in this function label anymore, I don't think. Or do we do it from within here? Maybe we do it in here. Change function menu direction. Yeah, we could do it from in here. Yeah, so we don't need that now. Oh no, if we do it from in here we will need it. Right, okay. So what we'll do, we'll get the name. So change the direction, so whichever one it is. Selected item, so we'll do that and we'll change the name at the same time. So get name, it's going to return a string. So we're going to say function menu. Right, so function menu dot, is it text or content? Content equals get name. What's it looking for? A byte? Is that a byte? Yeah. That one can go straight in.
CQ2 meters,
there.
CQ2 meters, Mike 7 Hotel, India, Juliet.
And we'll have to do a bit of an if. Do an if on it. If function menu selected item is greater than something. Let's go up here. Let's have a bit of a variable. Private static byte maximum
CQ2 meters, Mike 7
function
Hotel, India, Juliet,
mode
Wolverhampton.
max
For any contact, standing by.
0.7 kilo alpha.
Mike 7 kilo Alpha Lima,
function
QS
mode
5550.
maximum whatever it is, max function. We can make that equal whatever we count in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 21, so 20. and the rest are non-AES, and that might be. So that's going to be a little complicated how it does it. So we might have to count it. Well, let's just do up to 20 for now. It's just they put some other stuff in AES settings. I was going to reuse them and change tone or something. Anyway, we'll do that for now. Right, let's go down here, and if function menu selected item is less than function less than or equal to function menu max, then do that, or do that, depends, doesn't matter. Right, okay, so let's build it, and we should be able to update that label now. So it's slowly getting to look like this thing, slowly. There's loads of work to do, but yeah. Right, so it built, okay, let's run it. Let's see. So that was the one I put in as default, so it didn't get updated. It might have done. It might have done it because it automatically selects the first one. If I click that, it's on level. Click it back. So if I change it to peak, there you are, peak. There we go, RF power. There we go. Oh, it's in there. I just want to see which is the longer one. Longer, these, yeah, it doesn't actually get to them. So if I go, keep that down. If I scroll to the last, BK was the last one. So if I do that, it should say BK delay. But if I go to the next one, it shouldn't say anything. It'll say BK delay, but it's still letting me select message. Okay, that's about right, but that's not representative of what the default knob will be doing. So it needs to blank it off, doesn't it? Or tell you you're on message at least. I don't know what this one does. No, because message brings up another window, and then it closes when you finish, so it never... Actually, let's try it. So press the function. I go over to message. Alright, and it says level at the top, so I'm going to press message. It's brought up another menu. Message memory, and I can just do back. Still showing level. So basically the function knob will do whatever the last valid one was. Yeah, so it's got to stay, not clear it, it's got to stay. So even though the frame is round this, and when you go back into it, you're over where you left last. See if this one does that. Yeah, it does. So I put it on record. Oop, stop. I've just recorded something. Come back. Press it again. No, I went to back, didn't I? Yeah, it's, don't know, it's either something or nothing, but we've got to decide what we're going to do with it. So we're on message, and it starts showing BK delay. So basically that shows when you come out, it's showing you what this knob will adjust, and if it's message, you're not going to be able to adjust it. I've never used that on the radio, so I don't know. The only trouble is you got AES over here, so that is something you can adjust with the scroll wheel. So we're going to have to do some custom, because these are in a certain order, see. They're in a certain order, and she gets to scroll like this. So we're going to have to do some lookup stuff, and if we add one to it, it messes it all up. Right, so what can we do? So we need to, it's got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we've got 20. Then we want 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So we want, hang on, 25 and 26. We want to be able to do it. Radio, CW, these are all settings, so they just bring up a separate window like this. So 25 and 26, if we go on to them, we want it to be able to update, otherwise it stays on, yeah, sticks. Right, so the function selected item is less than or equal to function menu. It's getting a bit silly now, isn't it? Getting silly. I ain't gonna go to that level at the minute. Now let's just get it working. Now we'll sort it out. That's where you can get a bug though. Yeah, you think you're adjusting one thing. So what about if we make selected item equals null? Or default back to something? We'll default to a level, yeah. If it's less than that, if it's less than that, do that. Yeah, we'll do a workaround else. We'll select. If it's anything else, then we'll select those. If it's not, we won't select it. We'll just dump it back to level. Right. So just do that there. We'll go content get name, and it'll be the 0. So we need to make selected item. Right, so once it's selected, it needs to go and actually select it. Or does it? Don't know. Let's just see. Put a note here. If not on a valid, adjustable parameter, just default to the first element in the list, which is level. Okay, so we want level, so we're gonna just get the first item, which is 0. Okay, and the selected item, we're just gonna go selected item menu, item equals 0. Okay, and we'll just default to that one. If someone, because while we're developing it, we don't want any trouble. So let's see what happens. I need to go and fill my jug up. It's dead thirsty here. Right, so we're on level. We choose that. We go all the way up to BK and come back. We got BK. We let it go on message, come back, and it goes back to level. Next time I go in, will it be on level or message? It's on message, so we didn't actually select it. We need to scroll through it. So scroll thing, get border by tag. That's it. We need to execute that function. So we need to do get border by tag here. So the tag value will be 0. Selected item is 0. Does that automatically? yeah, it's automatically doing, so we don't need to do the select him item, just need to issue this one. And we need to just tag 0. There we go. Actually, will it do the name as well? No, it won't. No, because we're doing the name in this bit. Right, okay, let's just see if we've sorted that little bit out. I think it's time to knock it on the head soon. It's too hot for this. Right. Anyway, so we've got level, bring that up, come down to BK. Oh, see that then? It went right back to the start when I went to BK. So it won't actually let me select that. That's weird. So it's actually limited me. I can actually click it there, but I can't scroll. Maybe that's a good thing. Yeah, so I can't scroll to it. That's a bit weird though, isn't it? Right, unexpected side effect. So yeah, so we're getting, so it's altering the border, but we don't want to do that while we're scrolling. But if we're scrolling, hang on, there's another thing here. Scroll wheel, where's the scroll wheel? Preview mouse up, preview mouse down, mouse wheel. So we're doing it from here, change function. So we're changing the function. Alright, so we're hitting this program here, let's change the function. Because we put that in, we're selecting it. Once it gets over a certain amount, it's going right back to 0. Does it matter? Let's see what this one does. So, yeah, this one lets you go all the way around. Yeah, okay. I want to keep the same idea, really. So if we can't do that there, then so where do we do it? We do it when we close the menu. Yeah. When we close the menu, we do it from there. So we take that out. It's only when we close the menu, so cut that out of there. So we close the menu by hitting the button again. So it's not the mouse wheel, so that carries on changing. The mouse down, and the bit where we mouse up, mouse move, no, mouse up, this is it here. So selected item, right, that's always selecting the item. We clicked, right, so if it's not if transceiver mode is not equal to transceiver mode's function menu, last one equals there. Trans mode, if it's equal to function menu, selected index is transceiver mode. So we need to put our little thing in there somewhere. So when we come out, if diamond tape now, we were dragging kill track processes, so check genuine log press. So I put a bit of thing in here, so we clicked on this bit. If right, that's not there, that's this bit here. If it's not equal to the function menu, selected index is the function menu. Last transceiver mode, tab control selected in. Oh, so we're retrieving it and we're going to the last one. Trying to work out what's going on there. So basically in this bit we're selecting the function menu. If the transceiver mode is equal to the function menu, we're just going to the last one. Alright, so if we're changing, That's if we clicked or scrolled. It's got to go in here, but I'm not sure where.
G1WIN.
So we could just put, I'll try it in here first. If so we'll do an if so it's the last one set in there, then this is equal, so it's going back to wherever it was left.
525 clear mark.
So alright, so if the transceiver mode is greater than no, that's not it. Where's that variable? Max. If it's greater than, where we gone? I've lost it now. What's happened? Preview mouse up. I've lost them. Hang on. Oh, there it is. If the transceiver mode is greater than max function, so it doesn't know where it is, we'd have to put the function menu class. Alright, what's it saying now? Not accessible. Alright, we need to make it accessible. Function menu class, it's a private, it needs to be a public. Right. So now it's accessible. Yeah. If the mode is greater than that, then we drop back to this one. And it doesn't know where they are, so we'll tell it where it is. Oh, that. Okay, so that's it. That might have to be moved up there if it's working in the reverse logic. Right, what time is it? I've got to knock it on the head in a bit. That's crazy. Right, so we go like that all the way down to here. We should better go all the way across now. Yeah. And if I suddenly leave it on message, right, BK delay, mate. So I don't know what it's done there. So if I go to CW, it goes CW. If I click there and come out, CW pitch. Yeah, that was it. But it should be on there, shouldn't it? No, it stays on there, but it's still showing this one. Yeah. So where it is exactly, I won't know until I try to initiate a move on here. Once I've implemented the CW pitch, right? Scroll that. We'll see if the CW pitch is moving. So at the minute, it's not set to do anything apart from set. That's doing nothing, but the scroll wheel is. So I've not told it to do anything yet. So when I do that, I need to know which mode it's in. Anyway, that's going to be enough for one day. I've worn out now. I've worn it out. So yeah, we've got some ideas of a. We've got ideas of a scope. We can't get to that scope bit today, unfortunately. Right, let's just give this a go. So we'll have a scope on here. No, this is just scanning this facility here. Nothing to do with the other scope. We've got to create a whole new routine for that. Oh, it's a pity these are the wrong colours as well. I'll do a bit of that off screen later on when I've had a rest. I should stop in a minute. Oh, I've got to update these colours as well. Ah, do we? Right. My mouth's drying up now.
Okay, I copy, sorry. Victor Echo number 3, whiskey.
Right, so switch from one to the other.
The name is Justin from Pescara, Middle Italy. Back to you, over.
There you go. So we've done a bit of work. We've got to do more work, but there's never ending. Is it suffering from feature creep? Not really. It's not, because we're just getting the basics done. It's not. The waterfall might be a feature creep, but it's a feature we want.
500 watts is the power into a 5-element tri-band YAESU with the 3-element full size homemade. The weather, very warm day, 28.5 degrees centigrade in front of the end. We have to see a lot of people on the sand of the beach. Over.
Yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for tonight. I've had enough, and I'll see you all again soon. Let's just close that down, get the thumbnail back up.
Congratulations, the FT-3000 and the XB.
Right. Okay, so yeah, we've done a bit, and we've had a word with AI and found out if it's feasible. It seems to be feasible. My idea seems to be feasible. Whether it'll turn out to be any good, it'll be better than nothing. We'll just see. We'll see. We'll try and optimise it. Might have on a button a scope, you know, or it might happen when there's a period of idleness. If it sees it drop below a certain level, it might just start updating the screen. And if it sees you transmitting and asking for a secure, it'll hold itself off for a bit, you know, for so many minutes, or until you hold it off, so it won't interrupt you, and all this kind of stuff. And you can option to turn it off and on, obviously. Alright, that's me done. Anyway, 7-3, thanks for watching. See you all soon. Bye bye.
Just find the right place in the program, make the appropriate change, and we'll run the whole thing again.
Speech is still very complicated. Music is simpler.
Is that a question?
Yes.
The question is futile.
My interpretation of the data leaves little room for error. The art of leadership is delegation. That information is not available. This constitutes all available data.
You know what they say. No good deed goes unpunished.